You're chasing your family lineage purpose. You're chasing what your friends say. You're chasing your purpose because you're running away from the things about yourself you don't like. A lot of people are not running to purpose at all. They're just running away from themselves. Because they're unhappy with this ability, or because someone didn't like it and someone didn't appreciate what you gave. And it's amazing that you can have 10 people applaud you. You will not remember the face of any one of those 10. But you will always remember that one voice, that one person, and that person will relive that moment in your mind over and over again. Why? Because you're programmed for failure. You're socially programmed for failure. You're programmed for rejection. You're programmed for self-contempt. That is what you go through in school. That is what you go through at home. You know, from a little toddler, if you do not have a nurturing parent, you pretty much don't know how to feel good about you. And you carry that through your whole life and pass that on to your children. Jesus. And so, even though you know you do things well, you cannot believe that what you do well, others will find valuable. And your value is where you're stuck. Your self-worth is in your value. And you cannot find value in who you are because you're too busy being haunted by all of the folks who told you who you're not. In order for you to fulfill purpose and stop just reading books about it, you have to get to a point that you believe in what God says you are. You need to know yourself. You need to know the things about you that are strong. When I'm counseling my leaders and I counsel the ministers, you know, you look at us up here and you think we all kind of got it automatically. You know, we just woke up one day and there it was. Not so. And if they were being honest with you, they'll tell you I poured hours and hours and hours into their identity, into their confidence, into their competence, knowing that in order to get the best out of them, I have to take the worst off. Isn't that something? See, you think it's magical. The number one thing you need to recognize is that it's not magical. There is no magic bullet that's going to make you feel good about yourself. It is not magical. I know people who have degrees all over the place, who have money coming out of their ears, whose life work 100% the way they want, and they still struggle with the same self-hatred that you do. In secret. Because until someone takes it off, whatever God puts on you is useless. It's like putting something great into a swamp. And some of you all, your soul is a swampland of abuse, rejection, and resentment. But God has a purpose. And the Lord is interested in you working with Him. You have to work with God. Now, this stuff is, again, not magical. Yes, you do need to go to school. I know we have a whole era of the 80s and 90s where people didn't have to go to school, and look at what we got. Preachers who still can't say Nicodemus. There's still good preachers that Nicodemus. Who is that? Is that in the Bible? You know, there's no way to get around it. To do anything effective in life, you must be trained. The greatest protege still needs to be trained to make that thing work on purpose, perfectly, on demand. A lot of you have had moments of brilliance, but you cannot make that brilliance work on demand. You get tired, it won't work. You get under pressure, it won't work. Your feelings are hurt, someone hurts your feelings, you can't do it again. You know, when I was looking at the Olympic people and looking at the recent Olympics, those people stumbled and went on and finished an excellent routine. Not the same. We stumble, go home in the cave. We're not coming out ever again. No, God must not meant for us to do it. Otherwise, He would have kept our feet from slipping. Now, maybe He might want to teach you how to recover. You have got to get to a point that the reasons you are not excellent are in you, not in the world. They went on and forgave those figure skaters and gave them a nice score and they went on and finished the thing. Wonderful, because that's life. Life, we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. We have this treasure in earthen vessels. You can practice something 1,000 times, but you know what? Life does not reward you for all your excellence before it rewards you for being able to recover. Resilience will give you a better reward, because resilience comes with wisdom. Bounce back, continue on, press through, critique yourself, examine your mistakes, be honest about making mistakes. The last faith movement produced the worst performance in any sphere of life, because everything had to be positive. Yeah. Do you realize that if you only have a positive current, we got a problem? Thank you. We need a negative current. You have to have some negativity to balance your positivity. Otherwise, you've got too much of one thing and not enough of another. So we had a lot of optimism and no wisdom. See, we're very optimistic, but no wisdom. Not only did we lack wisdom in that thing, we also lacked an ability for honesty and true assessment. We could not take a bad report. Don't give me any bad news. Don't give me any evil reports. If I had $1 for every silly comment like that was made, I would own an island. And so they taught you to be thin-skinned and defeated. In all their effort to make you a conqueror, they actually made you defeated. Why? Because the normal processes that produce champions were denied you.
This is your life. It's not a religion. It's a decision. This is your life. It's not about losing. It's about choosing. This is your life.
There is no greater suffering a saint of God can live through than God's sudden silence. The saddest part is, countless people don't even notice when God goes silent. When God goes silent addresses, how true is your intimacy with God? Do I worship God out of passion or duty? The shock of God's sudden silence. The joy of non-stop interrelations with Almighty God. 20 questions to help you break through the Lord's wall of silence, and 12 tips on how to get and keep the Lord walking and talking with you. If you are pressing God for a deeper intimacy and want to understand how to get His ear and involvement in your life, order your downloadable or hard copy today by calling 877-649-PPMG or visit www.drpaulaprice.com. Don't live life without God's voice. Secure or restore your walk with the Lord today.